It's 6 o'clock and the call to order for the Ladonia notice of public hearing for 22-23 budget is now in order. Roll call. Russell?
Here.
Keisha? Here. Greg?
Here.
Okay. Public hearing on the 22-23 proposed budget and tax rate. I've got something under water utility, under expenses, second page. I don't know if y'all are aware of this, but we have $196 deficit. And, how much? 110,000. That's better. Anyway, on this payroll here, 6119. We budgeted 72,000 last year. In year, we looked it up, year 20, it was at around 35,000. And I'm thinking that it should be brought back down to that, instead of having it all the way up to 95,000. Any questions why?
Yeah, why?
Because we're at this moment going to be using Patterson as our person to do our leaks and things. We're going to test it for about 6 months and see which way we're going to come out ahead. We did talk to some other people, and the two gentlemen that was working for us, and this was after they were gone, not before or anything of the such, so don't get excited. We found out that they were way overpaid. In any other city, they would not have been paid what they were being paid. So anyway, a town like this with this much deficit and want to put all the money over here in payroll just doesn't make sense to me.
Okay, so that brings our budget deficit for the water utility to negative $75,000.
She said it was 110. Oh, you're talking about 35?
So if you reduce that payroll, now we're only at a negative $75,838 deficit.
And you say only?
Well, I say only because if you look at the cash that we have on hand in the water department.
I've looked, we've gone over this today, trust me.
So, since a budget, the technical definition of a budget is a financial plan. So the financial plan is to bankrupt the water utility department.
We're not bankrupting it.
You also need to adjust your health insurance rates.
Okay, so how much does that take off that deficit?
That's over in the general, I believe.
No, it's not. And your payroll taxes are going to be reduced.
Yeah,
All of these are going to be reduced because you're not paying employees. What I tried.
Your TMR is 9% of that.
Correct, yes. Now, anything associated with employees will go down. These numbers that were based off of two full-time water employees.
So now we're thinking half that?
So you don't want to have those.
She said we had to have one or we wouldn't have a chance to have it.
Are you saying go down to 35,000?
Yes.
Okay.
So half the payroll,
I would place same on the payroll of about 25. Reduce your TMRS matches and everything. Okay.
Who you gonna have on besides you?
If in 6 months we don't do hire somebody, they're
Yeah,
going
but
to.
things I think we do.
We can adjust that, that's
We'll
fine.
adjust that, yeah.
So come back
If
here,
you're trying-
do
if
a
you're
budget
trying-
amendment?
Yeah.
I mean, there's.
Yeah, no, you can. Okay.
I mean, if you're trying to get this balanced tonight, then
The balancing the expense, you're gonna have to balance a lot of expenses to make up $65,000.
yeah, I'm not saying you're not, I'm just saying, if you're gonna, depends on what, how you're gonna do it.
Raise water rates. That'll be popular.
I thought we already talked about that. Yeah.
It's not up for this year, it's up for next year.
Based on our projections. from,
But that's if we, that's a payoff.
Correct.
Okay. So whatever we, I mean, if we do like $1, a meter or whatever a month, then I don't think that's a killer. I think that's an okay for, probably for everybody. Can't speak for everybody, I'm speaking for myself. I think that would probably be okay. It's not gonna be a large deduction anyway, no matter what you do.
How many homes?
I think about 300.
That's $300 a month. So,
So I'm saying it's not,
yeah,
it's not anything.
$3,600 a year in additional revenue.
But I thought we also was talking about doing that with sanitation, with
Sanitation, we don't ever say so.
Yeah,
Sanitation rates are set by.
She's a straight
By them.
example.
yeah.
Well, you have a
By
vote
who?
on whether or not you're gonna raise it, that's probably.
Right.
Right. And I think
You
that's
could
what,
raise the sanitation rates some.
I thought that's, I thought we were discussing this.
Water, originally I thought y'all wanted to do dollar on water.
Maybe that's what it was. Okay, dollar on water and dollar on
Which
sewer.
is normally how it goes with the,
With the regular rate.
with the regular rate
increase.
based on, yes, based
Yeah.
on the, whoever put that together for us, when it would be.
So that's $2 a meter per month.
Payroll taxes, we can adjust to about 1,600. They're going just one employee.
16. Would that be okay in the proposed budget then?
Same, because that 5264 was still going to.
So we can,
12,000.
yeah.
And the 8,000 for the payroll taxes to go down to about 2516.
2516.
Yes.
You said 1,600.
You said 16.
That's for the MRS match.
TMR estimate, 16.
And what did we end up with on payroll? 40 or 35?
And what you say the payroll taxes would be?
No, approximately 2516.
Okay, something else that I was looking at is, when we were, this Upper Trinity where we got the proposed for 2,000, they acted like they had no idea what we were talking about.
It's in our
Yeah.
contract. Yeah.
Right.
It may be in the contract, but they act like they don't know what we're
But it's
talking about.
a pass-through, it's a revenue with a offset expense, so it doesn't have an effect on the bottom line.
Okay.
Okay, so we're still in a deficit of $58,000.
And this up here is 58,000.
With what we've taken off, round numbers.
Nope. What are you saying?
I'm gonna have to them off the top right there from 95, we're dropping it from 95,000 to 40,000, that's $50,000 off, $55,000 off.
Okay, sorry, I was just, I
So
looked
that,
at the
that
same.
drops it right there to negative 55,838 times 2.
Okay, so we're saying that instead of 95,000, it's 40,000?
Hold on, I'm not done yet.
Yes, that is what I was using.
I've got us down to a negative 40,419
Okay.
and 92 cents.
Okay. And we can't do nothing with that.
And I think part of what's, so if you look at 11.6514 and then 6.524, the principal interest 2018 and the interest series 2018,
Yes.
never mind. Those combined, those come out of a different, those end up being pulled out, construction fees, excavator payment. I know y'all were discussing possibly getting rid of the excavator, trying to
Right.
get out from under it.
What did we say was under the miscellaneous?
Where is it?
It's 6436.
That was, oh gosh, I didn't print it again.
I didn't write nothing by
I
it
have it
either.
in here. Let me find it.
If we get rid of the excavator, would that really change anything?
It's only $7,200.
Yeah. And we're just looking for someone to take over payments, correct?
Ideally, you would want somebody to actually, buy it outright and get it out of our name.
Right.
Yeah, but just whatever's owed on it.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, not making any profit off of it. So under the miscellaneous, it's under the water sewer, this $1,100, was pretty much fuel, cost of fuel to the county for delivering road material.
Oh,
Yeah, diesel charges, company charges.
Which one?
Under
6436.
miscellaneous expenditures.
So we don't have that included anywhere else?
No.
And I noticed you've got the transfer in COVID, but that's for last year, correct?
Mhm.
Because we haven't got this year's yet.
Not yet. I've got another email. I should be getting it.
And
And that'll only transfer in once we get off, if y'all decide to do the
fence,
fence at the sewer ponds. After y'all accept whichever bid,
yeah, we've got to get bids.
yeah. It'll transfer over just to pay it out of the water fund.
Can we not use that COVID money in the contract labor payroll?
It's only payroll if you were using it to give your employees a raise based on, how was it worded, Deisha?
I don't know, we didn't use any.
Yeah, see. Y'all didn't use it for payroll, and see, that's,
No.
we didn't have a, it was.
We really need to see what it stipulates.
Right, it was really, my understanding, it was if, basically hazard pay,
Yeah.
yeah. Unless they've changed any of the rules since they first initiated it.
And nothing on the first page, we could, I see, there's nothing that we could really adjust, correct?
That's revenue.
For revenue,
Yeah, the only thing that, I see as adjustments is minus 1,500 was on the budget for this year. Actuals was minus 11,000 plus, and then proposed budget is minus 1,500.
those are only adjustments that are made to water accounts over the years. Last year's and the year before were pretty significant due to those February freezes.
So this
Water
is,
lines busting.
so this is citizens adjustments.
Correct. This is adjustments to their water bill.
Now, what did we say the tap fees were?
It's one for Upper Trinity.
No?
No?
The regular tap fees.
Oh, the other tap fees, I'm sorry.
Yeah, those are anybody who tapped onto our lines this year.
So, we had actually, you budgeted 500, correct? We actually had 9,900,
Correct,
and now we're gonna budget 3,500.
correct.
Okay,
Dollar General's was performed by Patterson,
right?
so they quoted that pretty much, the bulk of that was pretty much a pass-through.
So, most of this was Patterson?
Yes, for Dollar General water sewer tap. I believe it, I wanna say it was $7,500.
Now, on that water sales, does that include the little, camper thing that's going in out there on 64?
Because I have no idea when he's gonna finish it. He's been working on it for how many years now?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, the number, the proposed budget is, I mean, as you see, as of 8/31, we had collected in $193,000. We obviously still have a full another month. When I print the bills, it gives me about what we it tells me what we should collect, as long as everyone pays their water bills. That's where the 200,000 came from.
Did they
So we
actually,
could actually up it a little bit.
We could, yeah.
I mean, because you're not taking consideration Dollar General either, right?
No, because I have no clue how much they're
they're
gonna,
probably not gonna use that much.
I don't know. We couldn't.
Did they already tap in on that RV park?
Which one?
The
Out
one on
64?
64?
Yes. He has tapped
He was asking me about that.
in. He has, it's a master meter. With the master meter, I believe his base rate is $500 and something a month, just on the base. I think that's. So do you want to try to increase that any, or?
So I'm recalling a conversation a year or so ago where somebody said something about they were aware of people that were tapped into the system that they were not being charged, that were not on a meter. Have we done an audit?
I have no, I'm sorry, I'm not sure what,
I
I
mean,
mean,
is
I
there-
get what you're saying, but that's, I don't see how that would be possible.
I'm just recalling what somebody said.
No, I mean, how would you do an audit if they're not being,
I've never done this, so I'm not sure. Physical inspection of all the meters that we expect to be on versus that are not supposed to be on, and the ones that aren't supposed to be on are locked?
I can tell you that with our past water guys, when they were out doing meter readings, yes, they were checking meters that were not supposed to be on, and if they were on, yes, they were locking them.
Okay.
Now, was it every single meter in town? Don't know,
Okay.
but
How would you do that?
how would you do what?
People just go, is that why we put that thing on, that it would be against the law if they went, okay. Okay.
I mean, you'd actually have to go house to house and look and see each meter, if it's operating or not, and is it supposed to be?
Right.
This contract labor, we put the 60,000 in because that's what we're figuring on action, correct?
So we're talking about not adding back public utility until April? You got that? About April? 6 months in? Yeah. Is that right?
We're going to look at it and see which one looks like it's the cheapest way to go.
I'm wondering about things like meter reading.
We've already got that, we've already discussed and got, actually, I think a pretty good system set up. What we are thinking about doing, I think it was said that we didn't have to go for the council, correct? Or the part-time.
If you are using, if you hire somebody part-time all the time, yes, it has to go to the council. If you are using someone just to do like we did this month, doing 3 meters, you have that.
What we're thinking about doing is this, is hiring someone like the person that came and read the meters this time. Because he only read the meters, it was done a couple of years ago to where meter reading is $500, you know, or however long it takes to do. So anyway, what we were thinking, the city had not had someone to do the mowing, didn't have anyone to do the filling holes or anything like that. And we put in water meters and also over here in the yard to figure out just how much in parts we've got, because we've got a bunch of parts and they're not, I can't say the word correctly, but they're not categorized correctly to where we know what we have and we don't have, so we don't keep reordering stuff. And what we came up with was, I think it's right here. For 5 days a week and a half a day, 4 hours a day, at $13 an hour would be $13,500. The reason we went with that because a gentleman had approached us and was interested in doing it, but he said there's no way that's an 8-hour job, you know. So